Back at it again with the Avalanche. Didn't want to start, did a little more diag on it. The fuel pump relay wasn't clicking and the fuel pump fuse was blown. Went ahead and replaced that fuse, went ahead and replaced that relay, and we still don't have anything. Wanted to check the wiring all the way back to the tank, and there really isn't much access to get to the top of that tank from underneath the truck without dropping the whole tank. So the suspicion is we got a bad fuel pump. We hit it with some starter fluid. It wanted to start. Obviously it didn't. So next step's going to be to go ahead and go after that fuel pump to see what it's doing. So I'm not about to drop this tank. There's some rusty bolts under there. There's some shields under there. It's not easy. It's, you know, an aggravation dropping a tank. And if you haven't dropped the tank, I'm sure if you watch a couple more videos, you'll see the circus that's involved with dropping a tank. If you can get around it, obviously that's the best thing to do. So what most people are doing is they're cutting holes in the floor of the trucks, and being that this truck's already a turd, we're going to do just the same. This right here underneath the back seat is where the top of the fuel sending unit is, and that's where we need to get to. What a lot of these guys are doing on the videos that you're watching on YouTube, they're taking a cutting wheel and they're cutting that. I don't like that much. And the reason why I don't like that is you're generating sparks with a cutting wheel. You're cutting directly above the hoses and the lines. So if you do cut into a hose and you're shooting sparks because you can't see what you're doing, clearly you're going to have a serious problem. If you have a leak on the top or anything going on, or even vapors leaking out the top of that while you're generating sparks, obviously it's all real high risk, aside from damaging your truck X, Y, and Z. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do it a little differently. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to drill 4 holes right here with the drill, and then we're going to use this. Now the difference with that is typically that is not going to generate sparks. It's going to put out the same amount of heat, maybe less, maybe more, but it's definitely not going to generate sparks, or at least it shouldn't. So I think that's going to give us a better idea on how to get it done without burning down the truck. You see right here, there's a contour. Because there's a contour, you're going to want to trim that, so when you go to fold it up, you don't want to completely cut it off. You want to be able to open and close it like an access door at this point. But right here you have a contour, so that right there is going to make it difficult. If you try to force this open, it's going to be a problem. Now that I cut past the contour, it should open with ease. And there is your pump. Ironically, I did smell some fumage. I did smell some fumes when I was doing this, so it's a good thing that I decided to use a saw versus a cutting wheel. And you can see there's a little bit of saturation in there. So we don't know yet what's going on with that, but we're going to go ahead and test the harness from here and test the pump and see where we're at. Chances are it's probably going to need to be replaced. I'm probably going to replace it regardless, because for a couple $100 I don't want to get stuck on the street, especially when I'm this close to getting it done. So back at it. Yeah, we're gonna have to go ahead and cut this back, because if you look, it doesn't line up with the seat. Sure, I could wiggle it out, but I'd rather have better access. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it a little more to get it done. There's a lot of these YouTube videos on cutting this tank, cutting the floor open to get this out. But on this particular truck, there's technically that backseat bar hanging right over this. So this particular cut, we're gonna have to do a little further so we can get ahead and get that pump out. What I don't want to do is wrestle the pump out because we needed to cut a couple more inches. So let's go ahead and get that done and get it to where it's going to be a lot easier to go ahead and take out. My big concern is not taking it out necessarily, it's replacing it. You know, you got to put a brand new pump in and you're beating the hell out of the pump to get it in there because you didn't want to cut a couple more inches. So let's go ahead and get that cut to make sure we got proper access. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it in one shot because I've never done this, and I couldn't really see what's going on underneath because everything's intact. And you know, here we are. So it's still a win. It's still a win, but you know, I'm not pulling any punches, and I want you guys to see exactly what we're doing and how we're doing it, even when it don't come out all that great. You know what I mean? Like right here, it's pretty good, but it would have been nice to have been able to, you know, like I said before, do one good cut. But we'll get it done. Here we are again. No power. Well, we got power, but no power coming out of the pump. We do have power back there. Everything's been tested. I'm not hearing anything. This thing's been sitting for a while. I don't want to take the chance. I figure let's just go ahead and replace that pump and get it over with. So this is what we got. I got a Delphi because I don't want to deal with reliability issues. I do have some concerns, being that this truck is going to primarily be for working. Last thing I need is because I was trying to save $100 for this thing to choke up somewhere with a big heavy trailer on the back. That's the last thing I need. So my son's going to be helping me today replace this. He's a little camera shy, but let's let him have a go. One. All right, looks like everything's there. Go ahead and give it a shot. This one right here, man. These three got to come out. So what you got to do is this thing, you got to put it in here, close it, shove it in there. It'll go inside here, inside of here.
Wait, I have to do that?
Yeah.
I have to do this?
Yeah, you got to open it up like scissors and put it on a tube. There you go. Slide it in there. Close it and slide it in there. Get it in there. Yeah, you're moving the whole thing there, homeboy.
I'm doing it.
How's that line coming?
I see it.
Did you get it?
I see the pump.
Mm-hmm.
I can't take it off. I can't take it off. I'm gonna pull it with the mouth.
You ain't gonna. Get the tool out of there so it doesn't fall in the tank. Alright, you gotta gently take that thing out.
I can't do it.
You can't do it with one hand, that's for sure.
What?
We could all wish to do them with one hand. Come on, you bum. Take it easy and don't get cut.
Is it still at the bottom?
You got it, man. Okay, pull it out. Get it out of the truck. There you go. Go ahead, take it out, man.
Mike.
Put it in the grass, man. Go ahead, drop it in the grass. Not our cleanest job, but at 8 years old, he can say he pulled his first fuel pump. I will tell you though, those lines, nightmare. I had to break the lines loose, and as you can see, there they bloodied me up a little bit. Apparently what you got to do is you got to push a little forward on the line, and you got to pinch the line at the same time and wiggle in the tool, and force ain't gonna do it, a flathead ain't gonna do it, vice grips ain't gonna do it, a hammer ain't gonna do it. You just have to maneuver it and work it, and it'll finally break free. You know, the other problem is the damn thing's been in there, what, 20 years, 21 years, so you're gonna get that. There's a lot of dirt in there around those fittings, so we went ahead and got that out, and here's a pump. Got a broken hose right here. That was not the problem. This thing's all disintegrated. It's crap.
Can I destroy it?
Oh boy, no, you can't destroy it. Not yet. So, again, we got the new one, but we're not quite ready to put that in yet. I gotta keep looking. I don't like the remnants thereof of that pickup screen. I actually don't even see a pickup screen on there. That's a problem. So, the new pump didn't come with one. So again, I guess this thing's back on hold for another screen. So we'll be back shortly. That's a filthy bucket I'm using there for that gas, huh? Yeah, I want to siphon that tank out before I go ahead and put the new fuel pump in. And there's a reason I use the dirty bucket. The dirty bucket is for temptation. You see how nice the gas looks? Beautiful, right? It's got a little bit of a turpentine smell to it. Gas is bad. There's some good gas mixed in with bad gas on that. Gas is bad. I just spent over $200 on a Delphi pump for this truck, and I'd be an idiot to contaminate the pump and to run a potential problem with that pump because I was being too cheap about the gas. I have other small engines on my property and different things I could have done with this gas. The problem is that gas could potentially cost me a lot more money than it's worth by the gallon. So, to protect myself from myself, I opted to use a filthy bucket because I know once the gas is sitting in a dirty bucket, oh no, I definitely ain't gonna use it. So, we're gonna get the gas out of there. Put the pump in, put fresh gas in it, and we go from there. It's gonna take a while.